Welcome to the Book Club Life with Jenny Snow, that's me, where we talk a lot about books, a little about life, and we have awesome author interviews. If you'd like to know a little bit about me, I married the man of my dreams, and I taught elementary school for a few years, and when I quit that because I had a baby boy that I wanted to be able to stay home with, I started a book club, and that book club was amazing. I almost didn't even start it, but my husband said, yes, go for it, do it. And to my delight, several people came, and some of those people ended up being some of my closest friends. And I enjoyed that book club for a little over 2 years until I had my second baby and tried to keep it going, and honestly, I just could not do it. So I let that go, and now I have two boys and a girl, and I'm starting up the book club life a little bit more, but not monthly. But I wanted to start this channel to talk about books with you and life and do what I love, talking about books and hopefully interviewing some of my favorite authors. So that would be really fun for you and me to get to hear what they have to say. Let's see what else. Oh, and I am also a writer. I've been published in Chicken Soup for the Soul, some romance magazines, and a family fiction anthology. In fact, if you'd like to read one of my stories for free, you can get it at jennysnow.net/subscribe. So we'll be talking about books, and I'm going to have a tissue rating, just, if you need to have the tissues nearby. And some of them I might need, a teens do not read, or adults only, or a PG-2, please go to bed because you're up way too late. They call them dad jokes, but moms do them too. So anyways, without further ado, let's get to the first book. So we're going to talk about two books today, and I chose these because I have just finished one of them, and I'm about to finish the other one. The first book is Sons of a Blackbird Mountain by Joanne Bischoff. And I got the book for you here from the library, but I actually got it, I listened to it on Audible, and it was really good. And I chose it because I just finished it. And I just finished it because it was such a good book that I sped through it in just a couple of days. It even kept me up at night. In fact, I woke up one night hungry, so I got a bowl of cereal and I listened to some more just because I wanted to. It was a really nice time reading it. I did it for no other agenda than I had heard about it because somebody said it was their favorite book that they had read in the last year, and so I saw it on my little library sound app and tried it out, and it was awesome. In fact, it was very romantic, very sweet, very heartbreaking. One of the most romantic books that I've read in a while, just really sweet love story. So I would give it a 5 hearts, 5 stars for romance. Here's our little tissue box. So it gets one tissue. I don't know that I cried, but I was touched. And I really wanted to know what happened next. It had so many good, deep themes. So if you were at the right spot, you might cry. One of the things I loved about the book was it deals with a disability. There's one character that has a disability, and I thought it was so well done how Joanne wrote that, and I would just really like to ask her if she knows somebody like that in her life, or did she just really practice on how it might be to have that disability. And I don't even know if I want to tell you what it is. If you read the back, you might. I don't know if it's on the back of the book, if it tells you, but I don't always read the backs of books before. If I know I'm going to like it, like I've heard that it's so good, somebody said it was the best book they had read that year, then I don't always like to read the back because I just prefer to be totally surprised by the story. So it deals with disabilities, brothers. I really loved the family relationship tensions between brothers, especially, there's also addiction in there, forgiveness, unforgiveness. Sometimes the people you love, they don't always make the choices that you would want them to make. And how are you gonna still love them? How are you still gonna support them, even if you may not support what they do? do you try to step in? Do you not? And just the heartbreak between family members. And the main character, you'll find this out pretty early, so I'll go ahead and tell you. She's coming to America. This is, by the way, did I say historical too? It's historical, set in the 1890s, I want to say, in Virginia. So there's racism, prejudice, all those good things. So what I loved about this was just how deeply it sucked me in, and I had to know what was happening. In fact, I was afraid that I would lose some of it because I had done it so fast in just a couple days, and then it's actually been a couple weeks since I listened to the story, so I was afraid that I was going to lose it. But, and one thing I remember at the end was so powerful, so right, I guess you could say. It was so right, but it also left questions. And I was really hoping that maybe her next book would answer some of those questions and be a sequel, and it is. So Daughters of Northern Shores, I am listening to right now, and it's really good. And this time, instead of going straight through it, as something strikes me, I'm writing down questions to hopefully interview her. So I will at least send her an email and ask. So we'll see how that goes. And the other book is also historical, Between Two Shores by Jocelyn Green. And don't you just love that cover? It is beautiful. So this one I have been reading, as you can see, and I've got little marks of things that just caught me. And I also have to give this one a tissue rating. In fact, I don't know if you can see. Do you see that? That is not snot. That is aloe vera gel. See right here, I promise. Aloe vera gel. This is not my snot. I would not do that. Probably. Just kidding. I would not do that. So this book was so good. I've been reading this, on paperback, not on audio. And there's only a few books that I get to do that a year just because, did I mention I had 3 children? And by the end of the day, I'm so tired. I can't always just get my mind into a book. Isn't that sad? Maybe that's social media. I don't know, but sometimes. So at the end of the day, sometimes me and my husband just watch a show, go to bed. We got to talk, and if the kids are getting up in the night. So I asked for this for Christmas, and my husband got it for me. And it came in, it actually didn't release until January or February. So I have been just loving it because every time I have been reading it, it's, hey, babe, can I have the night off? Or, he just gave me the night off, and I get to get in my pajamas and just get in bed and get comfy and read. And it's been the perfect book for that. So on my first session of reading, I don't know, a couple hours, but I got to page 107, and my husband walked in the room, and I was like, oh, what is the truest thing we've ever done? So if you've read the book, you totally get it. But page 107, one of the characters says to another, if you do this, it will be the truest thing you've ever done. And that line really struck me. So what's the truest thing you've ever done? What's the truest thing that anyone has ever done for you? And what does that mean, the truest? What does that mean to you? To me, it means the thing you've done for the right reason. You've done it, you've helped somebody for the right reason, not anything to do with yourself, just because to help them, because out of love. Not out of necessarily romantic love. I'm not saying that. Maybe not. You'll have to read the book. But really good book. So it definitely has a tissue rating. There's so many things I've marked. I'm hoping to get to ask Jocelyn about. I am going to contact her for an interview. And so this has themes of sacrifice in it, doing what is honorable. What have you had to sacrifice? Or maybe dreams that you for sure thought were going to happen and then they didn't. When has that happened to you? Those are questions you could ask in your book club meeting if you choose this. So I'm not sure how it's going to end. I know that this book is, It's so rich, it's so layered, and I'm very curious how it's going to end. And it also has suspense. This book has a lot of suspense. There's war going on. It's, I want to say, is this, let's see, it's during the 7 Years' War. So there's lots of, it's called Between Two Shores. And the main character, she is half Native American and half white. And so she really has to, she's got divided loyalties, there's family. There's also a really good side romance, or at least I don't know if there is or not. I'm envisioning a side romance. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, or if it's in another book with some of the side characters. So I just loved this book, and I highly recommend them both. And if you do choose it for your book club read, or you read it on your own, just, between you and the characters, please let me know how you liked it. And I'm really trying to do these in a way that doesn't spoil the book, because I definitely don't want to give any spoilers. But if we do an interview with the author, maybe I'll have to have a spoiler alert, that you can fast forward to, and then fast forward if you don't want to see it, and then come back to it after you've read it. So you can be like, yes, totally. Or I so disagree, depending on how you feel. So thank you, and I will talk to you guys later.